Hello and welcome to the Fic List, everybody. This is Erin, and I am here to introduce you to not a new episode, not the episode you were waiting for, but instead a very special Ficlet we have for you. This is the audio of the panel that we just recently hosted at FanExpo Boston. And it is myself, Alan, and Caitlin talking about fan fiction and the wonders thereof to a room full of people who could not have cared less about our silly little shenanigans. But we have this audio for you, and we wanted to share it because it's fun, and it's kind of like you were there with us. So we hope you enjoy it more than the 12-year-olds who heckled us did. And we love you very much. See you hopefully soon for a new full-length episode of the Fic List. Love you, bye!
All right, looks like we are on.
I think we're on.
Hello, everybody. How are we today? Hello.
Hi.
Wave hello if you're here. Hello.
Hi.
So you may actually be here because the schedule said 2 o'clock is Comic Connections with a different group. They unfortunately had to cancel. So we are not them. We are the Fic List, and we were scheduled at 3 p.m., and now we're here at 2 p.m. So if you're into fan fiction, stick around, because that's what we're going to talk about. But we will not be offended if you walk away. I will be a little sad. Like, I'll just watch you go, and I'll go, oh, man, and then it'll be fine. But yeah, just so you know, we are the Fic List, and we are a podcast.
We are
Hello.
indeed.
What is our podcast about, though? Fan fiction, but what happens?
It is indeed about fan fiction. So the tagline for the Fic List is that we are a book club, but for fan fiction. So we spent a lot of time, Alan and I. My name's Erin, by the way.
I'm Alan.
Did not give you my name to start.
I am Alan. Hi.
Yep. And we're the co-hosts of the Fic List. This is Caitlin. Caitlin runs our Tumblr account and also is a rock for us all. Like, she is the person who keeps us alive and, keeping on. And so we, basically, Alan and I decided that we loved fan fiction so much, and we're so sick of people making fun of it and not taking it sort of seriously-ish, or like just choosing to make fun of it, that we wanted to have a podcast that celebrated fan fiction as a legitimate thing to talk about. So we send each other a fan fiction based on a tag or an AU. So we like to try to get an episode out every month. It doesn't really happen that way. So we send each other each episode one fanfic to read, recap, and review. And we talk about it like a book club. We take it seriously with the caveat that it ends up being kind of silly because it's fan fiction, and why not? But we talk about the merits of it, where does it fit in the fandom landscape, pop culture of the time, all of that kind of fun stuff. Hello and welcome. Alan, did I miss anything?
No, I think that was great. Oh my god, I'm gonna back up a little.
Nah, be loud. We're gonna try to carnival barker some fan fiction fans over here and try to get them to
You like
show
fan
up.
fiction? Come on, step on up.
Let's talk about it.
Or if you want some chairs, we've got chairs.
I know.
Oh, there's
Sit
so
down
many
for
chairs.
40 minutes.
So many chairs. And to our point, this FanExpo let us nerds host a panel. We're not entirely certain, but we're here now, and we're going to talk about fan fiction with you all. Caitlin, do you have anything to add?
No.
Great.
I'm just here looking pretty.
Yeah, and you're doing great. Caitlin did her full outfit today. Please enjoy the full Dean and Castiel experience. I am, half-baked Eddie Munson.
And I am cosplaying as Alan, a very obscure character.
Yeah,
but
from a really unknown podcast that no one listens to.
Yeah, he's making a special appearance in FanExpo Boston, actually.
Yeah.
We
It's incredible.
have 2 listeners. We have
You're
Mai
right.
and Evelyn.
Yeah, that's true.
Do not knock our 2 biggest fans.
That's true.
That's true. All right. Well, now that you know who we are, let's get a little bit on the same page about what fan fiction is and some terminology you may not have known. This is our fan fictionary round, aka, wait, those are real words? What?
So the joke was when we started this, I hadn't read fan fiction in a second, and Erin has been reading fan fiction constantly,
Yep.
consistently, and so when I came back into fan fiction, there was just a slew of terminology that I was no longer familiar with. So these are some of the words that we've kind of compiled, and throughout the episodes, you'll hear Erin giving me an education.
Yeah.
So we're going to start right off with some basic general terminology. Slash refers to the presence of a homosexual relationship featuring at least one canon character. The female loving female relationships are typically called fem slash. OOC refers to out of character. Characterizations that are used by the author are very different from the established canon. So if any kind of characterization in a fanfic seems really off, they're probably OOC. OTP is an easy one. You've got your one true pairing, your ride or die ship. You will fight anyone who says that they don't belong together. No TP, absolutely not. Get this ship as far away from me as humanly possible. You've got your tags, which are keywords or phrases that describe what you can expect from a fic. Conversely, the prompt of a fic, and we'll walk you through some of those examples of what those look like. This one was my favorite. It's called Squick, and it refers to any elements or themes of a fic that may trigger you or otherwise make you uncomfortable, but you don't judge other people for enjoying them. So if you say, I don't want to read about someone being covered in peanut butter, but if that's your thing, have fun. And I really like this term because the term squick squicks me out. It sounds awful.
But I love this term.
It
is my favorite fandom term of all time. We need to bring it back.
No.
It is the best thing.
It's a helpful one, to be sure.
It is so helpful.
Yeah.
It's slowly coming back.
I
It's
just
slowly
wanted
coming back.
I want a different collection of vowels and syllables to have come together
Yeah,
to
you
make
just
a
don't
different
like
word.
the word squick itself.
Correct.
Which is fine. You can be wrong. That's fine. All right. So, a drabble. If you're familiar with this. So, drabble is generally understood to be a fic that is exactly 100 words in length. That is an old school definition. Drabble has more broadly come to to define just like really short fan fictions. A ficlet refers to a complete short story, generally between 500 and 10,000 words. Ficlet, I think, has fallen out of use a little bit, but that's okay. Missing scene fics are fics that fill the gaps between canonical scenes or events. Some of my favorite fics fall into that category. Podfic are fanfics that are audio recorded in the format of a podcast. Oddly, a thing we've never done. Maybe we should try that. And RPF, real person fics. I love these. So these are fics that center around real life people. So actors, musicians, celebrities. A great example of this is the BTS fandom. If you are a fan of BTS,
Huge.
They have a huge presence in the RPF community.
All right, and here the promised sampling of some tags for you. We're starting with ABO.
We're starting out strong.
Yep. Alpha, beta, and omega dynamics. The details do tend to vary depending on the author, but they tend to have themes of mating, heat cycles, etc., all that kind of werewolf kind of
Comes
stuff.
from wolf stuff. It started with the supernatural fandom, as most things do.
We've got an AU, which stands for alternate universe. It's a story in which there's a major deviation in the plot, setting, or characters. You've got your coffee shops, you've got your librarians, you've got your high school, any of those major big shifts in the universe. Hurt comfort. These are fics where one character is in physical or emotional angst, followed by a different character comforting them. And who does not like that? Angst is a genre of fics with prevalent physical or emotional torment of characters.
My favorite.
And diametrically opposed is fluff. Short and sweet fics with little to no plot advancement, just the warm and fuzzy feelings.
Also delightful.
You've got crack, which is fics where wild or ridiculous things occur with little to no explanation, usually for entertainment.
Who doesn't love it? Some more tags. Kidfic. Fics usually features kids or the having of children in a prominent role. Plot web plot. If you know, you know. Fics with little to no plot. They're vignettes. They're character studies. They're fun. Rare pair is a pairing, some kind of ship that is rarely seen or hard to find. Think of like the real, often paired with crack fic. It's sort of the two that go together. Self-insert, I also deeply love. I don't care if it's cringy. Fics in which the author deliberately writes a protagonist to represent them. It can also be a second-person point of view or reader insert fic. I've been reading a lot of Eddie Munson, and we're not going to talk about it.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we are. Finally, Wump, stories in which physical and or emotional pain is heaped on a character. Think hurt comfort without the comfort. It's angst on speed.
Again, another thing that Erin loves.
Why do you have to out me like that?
You outed yourself when you made this podcast.
It's on the podcast. Anyway,
I'm just
continuing.
now telling everyone.
All right, we're moving along.
No.
We're going to do a few fandom asks then and now. So we're going to talk about, how old we are and date ourselves a little bit and tell you a little bit more about ourselves. And Caitlin is going to moderate this section and ask us all kinds of embarrassing questions.
Yes, coming to terms with the passage of time, my favorite thing.
Yeah, we really love an existential angst moment in, the middle of an expo floor.
I'm older than both of you. Okay, let's start off with your fan fiction origin story. When did you start reading fanfic? What was the first fandom you read it for? The first fanfic site you used? And your first OTP?
Oh my gosh.
So many parts to this question.
Can we get them broken down?
Yeah.
Yeah, break it up.
Okay, so I started reading fan fiction when I was 12 years old. I was too young, but here we are. This was back in the day when fandom was pretty spread out amongst different sites. I started on Quizilla. Anyone remember Quizilla? Put your hand up if you're a Quizilla babe. Yes. I know you're lying to me, but you're really nice for putting your hand up. And so, yeah.
Our friend
Quizilla?
over here.
Yeah.
A classic.
I started in Green Day Bandom. Yeah, I see that smile. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. And so I was reading that when I was like 12. It was like when American Idiot came out. So that's what happened. I discovered it on the internet and was like, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. And I've been reading it ever since.
I also started when I was 12, and I also started on Quizilla. I started in a different fandom.
What fandom was it, Alan?
I started in Naruto fanfiction. I just really wanted to see Sasuke and Naruto kiss, and I wasn't getting that from the anime, so I went in search of it.
I love
Well, you
this
got
for
that one episode, but that was for laughs.
Well, that's what hooked me, and
Yep.
then it was false advertising. I wanted more.
Yeah.
Fair.
They
Fan
sold
fiction
me.
was
Yeah,
there for you.
It's true.
in
They
your
sold
time
me
of
on
need.
the idea, and then they were like, "Just kidding."
Yeah, great.
And then what was your first OTP?
Okay, fine. I will say this. So my first OTP has aged like a fine glass of milk. I know this. But my first OTP in the Bandom sphere was Panic at the Disco's Brendan Urie and Ryan Ross. But I think the first like fictional OTP that I can like claim to was Klain from Glee. Also aged like a fine glass of milk. I know this. It's fine.
I love that for you.
Yeah.
Mine was Naruto and Sasuke, but I'm also very partial to Draco and Harry. Listen, I'm very vanilla, and I understand this and love this about myself.
I stand by this for you.
It's okay. We all love you.
Yep.
And to counter that, what is your current fandom that you're reading for regularly, your current OTP, the current fan fiction site you use regularly?
Well, the fan fiction website that I use regularly is Archive of Our Own,
Yeah.
AO3. It is incredible and has very many tools for me to use when I'm searching for things. I would say probably the fandom I'm mostly reading right now is Heartstopper.
Yes.
It's just so like soothing to the soul, and I am a soft boy TM at heart, so that's what I'm obsessing over.
I don't have any clear or abundantly obvious things that I'm reading right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, none at all.
You're very indecisive.
Yeah, no, I'm obviously very deep in the Stranger Things fandom right now, specifically Steady. Come on, like, duh. But before Steady, my, like, ride or die OTP was Quentin and Elliot from The Magicians. I have really terrible taste in OTPs. They never work out. I see your face. I feel like we're connecting right now. Yeah.
Should we...
Yeah.
we should like psychoanalyze you at some point and like wonder why do you always go for these OTPs that like
Missed potential.
the missed opportunities?
I love missed potential ships. So yeah, it was Qualia.
Well, we have talked about how, like, the reason all of us enjoy fan fiction is the, like, you're not satisfied with the canon, so that's why you turn to fan fiction.
Exactly.
If I'm satisfied with, like, how my OTP got together of a particular show, I don't need to read fan fiction. It's
Right.
like,
Or if I do, it's just going to be like, all right, enjoy more of it.
But I would
like,
say also that like sometimes like when Heartstopper, they get together at the end of the first season. Spoilers. I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. I'm leaving. But I like how they got together. But now I just like to think about. I like to take those characters and put them in different places. I like
True.
to think of them as older. I like to put one of them as a baker.
Yes.
At
a coffee shop.
Yes, absolutely. A librarian.
Yes.
Anything like that.
Yeah.
So I think there's.
They go to college.
So I'm just saying, there's many reasons to gravitate to fan fiction.
so many reasons. Okay, I like that. Good answers, guys.
Thanks.
Did either of you ever write fan fiction? And if you did, what fandom did you start writing fan fiction for?
How did I know you were going to ask this question? I should have guessed. I did. I wrote
It's
fan fiction.
extremely obvious.
I know. I wrote fan fiction as a kid. I don't anymore. I kind of fell out of it when I started reading. I just crossed the threshold of 4,000 AO3 bookmarks. This is not an accomplishment I take lightly.
If you wanted to know just
Right in
how
the back.
much fan fiction Aaron reads.
Yeah. And that's not counting all the Tumblr bookmarks and all the other stuff.
All the Lost to Live Journal stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The fanfiction.net stuff is still there somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere.
I used to write on Quizilla and then
Same.
Mibba for a hot minute. And I was writing a lot of Bandom stuff. I wrote a really weird Gym Class Heroes fanfiction when I was a kid where like the reader turned it, like they turned into dogs. It was, I don't ask questions. friends. Just accept that I was 14 and an idiot, all right? Thank you.
I also wrote some fan fiction when I was younger. I don't anymore. Also wrote it on Quizilla. I don't know that I've told you this story. I had an online girlfriend. We were very serious for like 6 months, and we would just trade fan fiction back and forth. We would do a lot of read your self insert into like Hogwarts and stuff.
How amazing would it be if I was like, I had a fan fiction boyfriend? I didn't, but I should go with it.
Honestly, I would feel so great about that because every day I'm like, I broke that poor girl's heart.
I'm sure she's fine. I'm sure she's okay.
Amanda, if you're out there, I'm wishing you the best.
It wasn't me.
No.
Surprise, it was Caitlin.
Wait, what?
No, it wasn't. Just kidding. Moving on.
It's like, don't tell me my own origin story. Oh, God. Okay, and was there, since neither of you write it anymore, what was the last fandom you wrote fanfic for? If you remember.
Oh, you know what? It might have been Criminal Minds.
Oh.
Yeah.
God,
Now
what's
that I'm
that character's name?
Spencer Reed.
There we go.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we're going to be friends after this panel. We're going to hang out. It's going to be great. Yeah, no, it was Spencer Reed.
Oh my gosh. No, I haven't written any of that. The Hogwarts thing was the last thing I wrote.
Yeah.
Wow, good.
Yeah.
Good. Nice. Let's see. What is your favorite ship dynamic?
Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
There's so many fun ones. I always really love the sunshine and happy one is in love with the grumpy angsty one. And the grumpy angsty one would die for the sunshiny one.
Not just die, but kill.
Yeah, would do anything for that one.
Yep.
So like Steve and Eddie. I mean, it's pretty straight up. But that's like also a little bit how Quentin and Elliot are in The Magicians, like to a degree. Quentin is just like a sad boy. But he's kind of like sunshiny sad boy in a weird way. And Elliot is like, I've got this one's mine. Sorry. Like, I can't do anything about this. So.
I really like an enemies to lovers moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also so real.
The tension, the banter.
The banter.
You need the banter.
You need the banter.
Yeah, I think that there's something really like personal about it. Like you have to
Yeah.
really know someone in order to effectively have banter with them.
Do you know what's also great is friends to enemies to lovers.
Ooh,
Right?
friends to enemies to
Yeah.
lovers?
So like you
AKA
start.
Shira.
Yeah, Shira. It's like you start off knowing the person really, really well, and then something happens, and now you're enemies, and then you got to like work your way back.
I gotta admit, I don't think I'm familiar with any story.
I'll send
that
you
I've
like
experienced.
7. It'll be
Oh,
fine.
Great, thank you.
I'll get you into it.
I've done enemies to friends to lovers, and that's fun.
That's also a good one.
It just takes too long.
Yeah.
I just want to move straight
It's
into
a slow
the good
burn
stuff.
situation.
Yeah.
Accept the slow
I'm
burn.
not patient.
You want the first kiss to happen like in the middle of a fight. Like an
Yes.
extremely
You're so
intense
right.
fight.
Yeah,
and
like
then,
they're arguing, and the only place to go from there is either
there's
kiss
only
or
one
violence.
logical
Right.
next step for
Yeah.
that
Yep, yep.
situation.
So right. You're so valid. Okay.
Did you ever have any rare pairs or crack ships?
No. Not because I tend to be really, I'm just trash, and I go with, like, I end up agreeing with everybody about their ships. Other than, I did read a lot of, like, original female character or reader self-insert, which I think some people consider kind of crackish or whatever. Or cringe. I mean, people call it cringy. I love it. So I would say no.
Yeah, I would also say no. I don't mess around with things I don't know.
Yeah.
So I stick to what I like.
I will also very happily ship hop. Some people are like ride or die on their ships, and
Oh,
they're
yeah.
like, I will never read a thing that is not my ship. I want an armada of ships behind me. I want to like hop from one dinghy to another, just like living my best life. So like, I'm like not that ride or die about it. So like, I've read Eddie and Chrissy and enjoyed it. Like, it's totally fine. It's just not the thing that I like gravitate to hardcore.
Yeah, that's a good point. I would say, I take a cruise every now and then.
Yeah.
I go and board something, trying something new, and then always come back to like home base, home ship.
Right. You
Yeah.
come back to port.
Exactly.
Got
There
it.
we go.
Great.
Keeping the ship metaphor.
Yeah, I
Yes.
just want to make sure I don't, I don't knock down other ships. I
Yeah.
have an open mind and an open heart.
Good. Has the kind of fanfic you read changed over the years? Like tropes that you used to be really into and now you're just like, meh.
Yeah, I would say I was reading a lot of like high school when I was in high school.
Yeah.
I just feel like you get sold on the idea of that high school is going to look a certain way based on like movies, TV shows, books, and all that kind of stuff. And then you get there and it was just hell. It was just not good.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to go read about something else. I'm going to read someone else in high school and have their experience, and that'll be fun.
Fair.
And it was. But nowadays, like I read it and I'm like, you're like 12. I need you to stop. Like, you know,
Yeah.
let's calm
This
down
is
for
not
a
for
moment.
me.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that is
yeah.
okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. As I've gotten older, I've read a lot more fics where somebody needs to take ibuprofen and go to bed early because I'm old now. No, just kidding. I read a lot of sick fic. I do read a lot. I think I read a lot more domestic-oriented fan fiction now that I'm older. I think the things that you gravitate towards as you get older, the types of relationships you're seeking as you get older, you still kind of like enjoy the fun and like the flirty and the banter and stuff, but there's like a depth of relationship that you're like, this is the new fantasy. I just want someone who's like there for me emotionally.
I want
So
someone
read
who
the
will buy
fanfiction.
Tylenol for me.
Is this like therapy on stage right now? It is. That's what's happening. But like, you know, I tend to read a lot of I'll read a lot of like Accidental Marriage is a fun one that I never read as a kid because I'm like, why would I read that as a child? But it's like wicked fun to read now. And like, yeah, I think I tend to go a little bit more domestic than I did as a kid. Yeah. I'm reading less like My Immortal style. I've been kidnapped and like sent off to Harry Styles or whatever, like that kind of like insanity fic. I don't tend to go for that anymore.
I mean, that's fair. I, a few weeks ago, looked at my old fanfic.net, like, favorited fics.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wow, I read a lot of weird stuff back
Yeah.
then that I don't remember.
Yeah. It's formative, but boy, was it a mistake.
That's a door maybe you shouldn't open. Maybe
Yeah.
we leave the past in the
Just
past.
leave that where it is.
Yeah, like, I had a lot of crossovers saved.
I love that
Whoa.
for you.
Yeah, and I'm
Wow.
like, I don't really read crossovers anymore.
Yeah. Huh. I never read crossovers. That was not my
What
thing.
was one crossover in that? Like, what crossover did you come across? That you're like, that's an interesting pair. Why was I reading that?
Well, I remember why I read it. It was there were quite a few Sailor Moon Yu Yu Hakusho crossover ones.
Ooh.
Because, and this is a crack ship that I read, it was Sailor Moon and Hiei, two characters from the separate things. And I only read it because Sailor Moon was basically treated as, the self-insert character where she was completely OOC. You basically got to pretend that you were Sailor Moon and you were
Incredible.
dating Hiei, and Hiei was my favorite character.
I love this for you.
Thank you.
That's incredible.
That
I
makes
had
total
completely
sense.
forgotten about
Send
this
me that
until
link
I
later.
looked at my old favorite stories. I was like, oh my God. Oh, God. Is there either a ship or a fandom or a trope that you like that would be very unexpected? Like, not something that people, mainly me, that I would be surprised that you like.
Well, you wouldn't be surprised by anything because we are best friends.
True.
And you know all of my secrets, which is maybe not a good thing.
Maybe like I don't know if this falls under Wump because I think that Wump is like very like that's the tone for the whole thing. But I love like a near-death experience moment.
Ooh, Sad Boy Alan wants a near-death experience.
It's just
fic?
that like when you see like a character like react to almost losing their loved one, it makes me
Oh.
sob every time.
It's
And
the possessiveness thing.
all right, this
Aaron,
has been
I
fun.
was
Thank you,
thinking
everyone.
I was thinking it.
I know. Alan really likes possessive fic. We're not going
Okay.
to talk about it.
Yeah, we don't
You
think
can
about it.
You can throw me under the bus. It's fine.
That's okay. I wouldn't. I'm a good person.
I know. You're a better person than me.
No.
One that was, I think, a surprise to you was how interested I was in Firefighter AU.
Yeah, that and like
We did an episode where we talked about Firefighter AU.
Yeah.
It's specifically because I went to women's college and I was surrounded by extremely buff lesbian firefighters for like 4 years, and it was the greatest 4 years of my life. I was like really happy about it, and now it's just like imprinted in my brain.
I was also surprised that you liked like pirate AU as much as
Oh
you
yeah,
do.
I love a swashbuckle.
I think you really like anything that builds a world.
Yeah, I really
Like-
like world building. I
Yeah.
like world building. I don't like contrivances. So things like ABO, soulmates, not my jam. I don't like things that kind of they're like too far removed from a thing that happens in real life, and therefore I have to like make that big leap. I struggle with that. But like I know firefighters in real life. I've met people who dress as pirates and go down to like hang out and like swashbuckle and sing sea shanties. That works for me. It's great.
What was the first fandom that devastated you? Like, whether because it had a bad ending, or a character died, or it got canceled?
Oh, good question. The Magicians, obviously.
That was your first one?
Yeah, that was pretty much the first one. It was the first one I was heavily emotionally invested in, is the thing.
Okay, got it.
Because I had like really latched on to Quillian.
Oh,
I
I
was
know.
really into it, and then
I was there.
Yeah, I was devastated. I would say that's the first one.
I would say I don't think it's happened yet. Because I know I'm so fragile, I like to do my research first. And so if there's even a whiff that someone separates, someone dies, or something like that I don't do it. Also, I don't keep up with television because I have commitment issues. Another thing to talk to my therapist about.
Yep. I wasn't going to throw that one out there, but you self-selected.
That's okay. James says that vulnerability is important.
Great. Right here on the expo floor.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
Wow, both of you have very easy lives when it comes to fandom.
that's true.
Or at least earlier lives.
Yeah, earlier. I got it all later in the game.
It's like been burned so many times.
I know. I'm so sorry.
Okay, so my last question. Old fanfic trends or styles that you miss? So like Drabbles used to be very, very prominent. 5+1 fanfic story. So 5 times something happened and 1 time it didn't.
Oh.
Or one of my old favorites, Sonfic.
I love songfic.
I love Sonfic.
Yeah.
Or even like on Quizilla, choose your own adventure fanfics.
Oh
Because
my
like you really
gosh.
can't find those anymore.
Yeah, those don't really exist.
Because that was the only format that could do choose your own adventure easily.
So it wasn't a great way to consume fanfic, but I kind of miss having LiveJournal meme threads. Does anyone remember those? I see you nodding. We're also going to be friends. So you would have sort of like a fandom space, and then somebody would post a prompt, and different authors would fill that prompt in like a thread. Mm-hmm. So you would read a thing, and it would be like, fill 1 of 70, and it would just be like this thing that you were reading in like a board thread. And that, I think, it sort of created this interesting back and forth between your reader and your author, because you were literally like back and forthing as you wrote it, which I thought was really fun. And that was how I kind of got into fan fiction too. Like once Quizilla went out, it was like LiveJournal was right there, and that was like a huge sort of piece of the fan fiction puzzle for me specifically. So I kind of missed that really clear interplay between writer and reader that doesn't happen as effectively on AO3 because of the way AO3 runs. And that's not a knock on AO3, it's trying to do a different thing.
I have to say, I hadn't thought about choose your own adventure fanfic in decades.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. I used to spend my all day on that on Quizilla. Yeah, they were like the interactive feature. I think it kind of serves the same purpose as like reader self insert or any kind of OC kind of thing where you're trying to plug yourself into it. You want to feel like it's like you are in that world. And choose your own adventure just like scratched that itch immensely.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I miss that.
We'll find you some.
We have anyone from AO3 in the audience? Can we implement that feature?
Yes,
great.
good.
Can we implement a choose your own adventure into the...
Yeah, can we figure out how to put choose your own adventure on AO3 now?
Yeah, can we figure that out?
Yeah.
Oh god, so that was my last question. So let's move on to our game.
Oh, right.
Fanfiction Would You Rather.
If you want to party with us,
Yeah.
Caitlin, how do they do that?
So if anyone in the audience wants to play, let me just click the link here. If you've ever played Kahoot during the 2 years that we were on lockdown, you're probably familiar with this. Okay, so for anyone that wants to participate, you're just going to go to kahoot.it. Once it loads the game, there we go. And so kahoot.it and enter the game pin right up here, or you can also scan the QR code. All 3 of us are going to be playing it and just discussing the different Would You Rathers. Everyone is more than welcome to join.
Soft boy Alan.
TM.
TM. Oh, Dean Winchester. I was really boring. I just put my name. I didn't think about this.
You're classic. You're vintage.
Yeah.
And all of the options, you're going to see them on your phone. So you don't have to worry about if you can't see the screen, you'll be able to see it on your phone.
Yep. And we're going to read them out loud, too. All right.
Okay.
We're going to get started?
I think we're good.
Let's do it.
Wait, I think one more person's logging in. We have
Party
plenty of
Rock
time.
is in the house tonight?
Yes.
All right.
Okay. Wow, we got 11 whole people.
You guys are
12.
great. 12 people? That's about 10 more than we expected.
It's true.
So we're here for a good time.
Okay, I think everyone that I see is logged in. Okay, we're going to start.
Let's do it.
Let's log in. Thank you, Kahoot. Free branding.
Would you rather fanfic edition? Would you rather ship a rare pair with very little fanfic or a popular ship but they're OOC in every fanfic?
Oh.
Ooh. I'm gonna go out of character because then at least they're my people.
Yeah, but
I would rather ship a rare pair.
me too. Because
Yeah.
then what's the point if you're just reading characters that don't actually resemble the characters that you like?
But I could read an infinite number of fanfics in the hopes of finding one that's in
but
character.
all of them are out of.
But
out
I
of
don't know that
character.
this is some Sisyphusian torture
Oh,
task.
great.
I'm not aware of this.
You know what? Fair. I think you might be. Oh,
Well,
you
I
and someone
lost.
else.
I did lose. I am in the minority. That's okay.
Yeah.
All
Also,
right.
I do have rare pairs and rare ships, so like I'm used to it. I'm like, whatever.
And imagine
right.
how like satisfied you'd feel when you find them. When you find a good one, you're like, oh, this is great. The hunt,
It's
the thrill.
quantity over quality for me. I just
Wow.
want quantity.
Read a fic of your no TP with all your favorite tropes, or read your OTP, but it's every trope you hate.
This is not even a question for me. It's OTP with tropes I hate.
Really?
Every time.
No
Do you have any idea how many soulmate fics I've read despite hating
Well,
soulmates?
because soulmate is a really cool concept. No TP is like
You're
fun.
you're in the minority. Me and
I
Alan
don't
both
care.
agree.
The no TP is just like it automatically adds this like tension to you like reading it because you're like the fic is already fighting against your own expectations, and if it's done with all of your favorite tropes, it's exciting to me.
Nope.
And I go back and forth on this, sometimes in the mood of like, you know what, let me see what a writer for a ship that I already like can do with tropes that I hate. How can they make it interesting? And then sometimes I'm in the mood for, you know what, all of the tags look interesting, the summary looks great, the only thing holding me back is the ship. I might give it a try. It just depends on my mood.
I
It's
guess
a
that's
no
fair.
TP for a reason. It is a nope from me.
You got to expand your
There's-
horizons.
there's a
I
hard-
Open
want
your
to.
mind.
I like my tiny little horizons. Thank you.
There's a hard nope, and then there's just like, let me see how you're going to write this.
Okay, fine. Let's see what the audience thinks.
Oh,
Less
again.
of a split. Less of a split.
Nice.
Yeah, but still a
Only
majority.
8 of you are wrong this time.
No, still majority. Me and Alan keep winning.
Yeah, not that we're
Fine.
keeping track or anything. But
I'm keeping score.
Aaron is always keeping score.
Always.
Only read AU fics or only read canon compliant fics for the rest of your life.
Oh,
This one's easy. You say it first because I keep saying mine first.
yeah, I know. I'm just joking. Yeah, AU
Yeah.
fix forever. I mean, again, if I wanted the canon, I could go to the canon.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, also every time I read ships because the canon is bad, so I want an AU because I want them to live.
I don't want to. Yeah, get them out of there.
AU forever.
I lean more towards canon because a lot of the stuff, a lot of the fandoms that I like, I'm just like, I don't want an AU of some stuff. Like, I'm reading a lot of Star Wars stuff right now, and I'm like, I want it to be in the Star Wars universe. So I don't want to read a coffee shop
Yeah.
AU of like Thrawn and Eli Vanto or running a coffee shop. I'm like, no, I want to read about them, destroying the universe.
That is very
That's
fair.
fair.
Yeah. So it does depend for me on the fandom,
Yeah.
but I would rather, for the majority of them, I personally would be canon compliant,
That's fine.
which I'm pretty sure I'm in the minority.
Yeah.
But again,
Nice.
it's
There we go.
closer. It's closer.
It is closer.
Your favorite writer has tons of fics, but they're all incomplete and abandoned, or they only have one completed fanfic.
Both of these happen to me regularly.
Yep, same.
One completed fanfic.
Same.
Because there's so much fan fiction out there. There's so much, and like, yeah, this is my favorite writer, but that also makes like the one fanfic like more precious.
Yep.
And like I don't know. I think that there's still very good fanfic out there.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll find my new favorite writer who has a more prolific fanfic career.
Just for the voice of the other one, because I'm a dead 50-50 split on this. I think I read a lot of incomplete fics and a lot of works in progress in the hopes that one day maybe they will continue, and that's fine. Or like you kind of still enjoy the process of what has been written, and I think that's one of the cool things about fan fiction is that people post things as they're writing it. Something might peter off and never happen, but there's still value in what has been put out there. And there are some really incredible premises and like fanfics that have just never been finished that I still go back to and read up to the point that they haven't finished and go, darn, that was really good.
Very fair.
So. Yeah, I'm okay with being the one person who says lots of incomplete fanfics, but it's either one.
Two people said it.
Okay, that's fine. My buddy in the audience. Yay! Again, friend. Yeah. So, but I could go either way with this one.
Yeah. You know me. I'm one completed fanfic because
Yeah.
I am search by completed only girly.
Same.
Yeah.
Do not.
I didn't
I'm
learn how
not
to do
here.
that until 3 months ago.
Aaron,
I've been on fanfic since 2014, and I just learned how to search for completed
you
fanfic.
have
You're
4,000
You're
AO3
joking.
bookmarks.
Not a joke.
Oh my
4,000.
god.
I was like, it's fine. I don't have to do that.
Very fair.
I can't with you.
I know. It's fine.
Only ever read character X reader fic or character X OC fic.
Easy.
It's the one that you're reading.
Oh, that's an interesting one. Don't they kind of just serve the same
They
purpose?
are kind of the same thing.
They're
a
a little bit.
time.
For me, the biggest thing is I can't read second POV.
That's
I can't.
hard.
I
I love
hate it
second
so
POV.
much. I'm like, no, I am not in this story. No, do not put me in this. I am past that age when I was a
man.
teenager when I wanted to be in the story.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It's X-reader fic for me, for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh yeah.
Like, come on. We've
I-
talked about this already.
I went character OC as well.
Why am I the only one with good opinions on this panel right now?
No, you're just, with different opinions,
Yeah.
perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
We can't all have the same opinion as
That's
Aaron.
true. It wouldn't
That would
be
be
funny
a boring
otherwise.
podcast.
It would be boring. What did the audience say?
I'm waiting for everyone's votes to go in.
Okay.
They're
That's
thinking this one was a stumper.
This
Yeah.
was a stumper.
Yeah.
I can see the value of OCs. I think sometimes people, it's not like a direct parallel. People aren't always putting themselves as their OCs. They're creating characters that could have their own sort of like background and like interesting backstory, which is kind of fun. I think character X reader is like the purest form of fan fiction in some ways. It's like pure wish fulfillment.
Well, I accidentally hit skip.
Oh, all right. Well, we
We'll
skipped
ne-
it. We'll
we'll
never
never
know.
know.
Now we have no idea. Do we want to
Wait.
read a fanfic with surprise pregnancy or with surprise major character death?
Surprise pregnancy.
Every
Yeah,
time.
Absolutely.
Like I was like, no,
Every
I-
time.
I
Who would-
need to be warned.
Yeah.
Who
Who
made
are the
you-
three with the major character death? Oh, that is a surprise. That is certainly a surprising scenario. They're really the polar opposites now, aren't they? It's bringing life into the world or taking life out.
Wow.
That's
deep.
Moving on.
Have the power to instantly write any story idea you have, or instantly create any art idea you have.
Write any story.
Yeah.
The number of times I've stayed up until 3 a.m. with fic ideas floating around my little brain that'll
Yeah.
never get written down. Too many to count.
Same. I have this running note on my phone with like these flashes of inspiration I get where I'm like, oh, that would make a really interesting premise to something. And then maybe someday, once the note is long enough, I'll just grab all of it and put it in one story and hope it makes some sort of sense.
And there are plenty of people doing fan art that I just like am in awe of. I don't need to compete with that. It's all good.
That's true.
We'll give instantly create any art idea to our friend Evelyn or like
Yes.
other people who just like want to do art. It'll be great.
It's true. Like if I had talent.
Hey.
Oh, yay!
That's good. We are at a fan fiction panel, not
Yes.
a fan art panel, so that's
Yes,
good.
but how much fan art have you seen that like has ended up inspiring a fan fiction?
So much.
It's so
Oh,
good.
yeah.
It's so good.
That's how I
They're
find
like
some
peas in a
fanfic.
pod. They go together.
Yeah, I'll see like someone's fan art on Tumblr and there'll be a link and I'll be like, oh, click.
Yeah.
It's a fan fiction inspired by this fan art.
Yeah.
Amazing. Only be able to read fanfic on Wattpad or fanfiction.net for the rest of your life.
Fanfiction.net.
Fanfiction.net.
Yeah.
Every time.
Wattpad it confuses me.
I don't understand it.
I understand
It
fanfiction.net.
scares me a little bit.
It does scare me a little.
It's for
yeah.
the youths, and I'm not a youth anymore. Like, it's too young. I can't figure it out.
I think I tried for the podcast once to read something off of Wattpad, and I just was so lost. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh man, the generational divide is real. This is unfortunate.
It is the TikTok of fanfiction podcast, like, host sites. I don't know. Yeah, no, it's fanfiction.net forever.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
could
yeah.
go back to fanfic.net.
I've tried.
The ads are a bummer, but
And the search function is not as good as AO3's.
where are Wattpad girlies out here?
Yeah, where are the Wattpad girlies?
Are you owning it? Who said Wattpad?
Someone come and explain it to me afterwards, because
All
I would
right.
love to hear your
Fine.
thoughts on it.
We'll figure it out
Yeah.
one day.
We're not going to shame you. We just questions.
Read a 100,000 word fanfic that's only fluff or only angst. Well, I know what Aaron wants.
It's not even a question.
I think this is one is Alan and one is Aaron. You know.
Yeah.
And now
angst.
you choose.
Angst.
Why would you want to be so sad all the time?
Because I'm already sad. It may as well be fictional.
Right, but if you're already sad all the time, then you need something to like soothe that.
It's catharsis.
Except, guys, you're missing the
Projection.
point. It's 100,000 words.
I read 100,000 word angst fics all the time.
That's true.
This is
She
not
has
a
sent me a
different
few.
thing for me.
But 100,000 words of fluff, Alan.
I can't
Just
do it. It's
no
too saccharine.
conflict.
Too saccharine.
Nothing.
You
It's just
bring
cute.
You bring up an excellent point, but if 100,000 words only ever results in angst, then it's just sobbing. It's just
Right.
the bad things.
You
That's
get it.
true.
No,
You
I would.
understand my needs.
I personally would rather have the warm and fuzzies for a very long time.
All right, fine.
What?
Yeah. Only angst.
I am
Bummer.
shocked. All right.
Bummer.
I'm winning
We
the
like
crowd.
the drama.
I'm winning the crowd.
Read a fic that's full of grammar and spelling
no.
errors, or read a fic where everyone is out of character. Please. I'm
would
not
say-
reading bad grammar.
Yeah, I went out of
Oh,
character.
I went grammar and spelling errors. That's how I
Really?
grew up. I mean, that was
Oh,
what
yeah.
Quizilla was for
That's
a
true.
very long
It's true,
We've
time.
done it. We've
But I'm an
empowered
adult
you.
now. I
Yeah,
know
yeah.
how words are spelled.
And listen, I think
I
that
don't.
depending, like, it's a harsh like opening, but like 10 minutes into the fic, you're like, okay, I know now what to expect, and your brain starts to auto-correct things.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
That was a pretty even split, actually.
Yeah, it was pretty
Nice.
even.
I
In
still
every
forgot
fic you
one,
read, all eyes are described as orbs, or every kiss is described as tons battling for dominance.
This is
Orbs.
actually
orbs.
painful. This
It's
is
orbs.
actually painful.
It's orbs.
It's like there's nothing worse than like getting to that first kiss and then their
Yeah.
tons battled for
For
dominance.
We're
And then
all
it's
orbs.
every kiss for the
Orbs.
entire
So many
fic.
orbs.
Orbs.
Have a customized fan fiction written by your favorite writer or a customized fan art created by your favorite artist.
I've had this done for me. It's a
I
customized
know.
fanfic from an author I really loved, and I won it in a fan charity thing, and it hasn't been finished yet. It's been like a year and a half.
That's the thing.
I know, but
Is
it was the premise beautiful. It was fantastic.
I went customized fan art. I think that an even split.
Wow.
I-
Dead
Wow.
even.
I just like having like art that like when I see it, it reminds me of something that's really meaningful to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Find out the creator of your fandom has written your favorite fanfic or the creator has read all of your fanfics.
Wrote my favorite fanfic because I
Yeah,
would
me
die
too.
if I don't really ever want anyone to read the fanfics that I was writing back in the day. I don't want them to have read them.
I think mine are lost to time somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once Quinzilla shut down, it's over.
That's a fair
Yeah, Quizilla
result.
going out was really my saving grace.
Yep. Yep, majority.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want creators to read the terrible stuff that I write. Have the power to complete any abandoned fanfic or the power to make a copy of any lost or deleted fanfic.
I'm gonna say abandoned fanfic.
Abandoned fanfic.
Because think of how much joy you would bring to people who really loved that story and never got to find an ending.
Yeah.
For me, it'd be to find any lost and deleted because there's so much that I can't find anymore.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's just like
Both
I
would
want
be
it
great.
back.
Both
Yeah.
would be great.
I would want both, but unfortunately, that's not what this is
There
about.
are some abandoned fanfics out there though that I would love to see finished.
Everyone in your life knows your entire fanfic reading history, or they've read every fanfic you ever wrote.
Reading
Read my
history.
fanfic.
What?
Read my fanfic.
Yeah.
Reading history.
Reading
No,
my fanfic.
My fanfic reading history is between me and Satan.
Exactly.
No
Between
one
me
is
and
reading
Jesus,
this.
no one else should know about it.
No one.
Listen, because also, like, I wrote that fanfic when I was 12. I would like you to show me something you wrote that was incredible at 12.
We
which-
share our reading history on our podcast, Alan. What are you talking about?
Not
Well,
the full history.
Not the full one.
Correct.
That's fair.
Yeah,
It's
exactly. Thank you,
curated.
Caitlin.
It's curated.
You get it.
All right. I want to know what the audience says on this one.
People are still voting.
Okay, fine.
But yeah, no,
I want to know who agrees with me.
There's still
Exactly.
exactly
Willy
no
Wonka
one.
gets it.
I've just accepted my fate that eventually my AO3 bookmarks are going to leak to the public.
Well, when you have 4,000
and it's going to
of
be
them,
my own.
the
It's going to be my own
public.
fault.
exactly. Thank you.
No.
We're gonna be friends.
Yeah. No.
I'm just
Yes, you have folders for everything, but you don't.
Oh my
you don't
God.
log
Oh.
it in the website.
everyone has read my fanfics. Yep.
All right. Who's my buddy?
That
Who's
is
my,
genius.
Who's my friend? Yes. All right. We're friends now. Great.
Would you rather listen to the Fic List on Spotify,
Oh my
SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Audible, Podchaser, or Podbay?
You're so adorable.
This is hilarious.
We are available on all of those platforms.
I would say Spotify.
Wait, this got changed. I forgot about this. The other one is actually iHeartRadio.
We're also on iHeartRadio.
Yes.
We're
on
on
all kinds
iHeartRadio?
of weird things. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my god, my mom is
Yay.
gonna
Oh,
be
good.
so
Spotify.
proud.
Good to know. Good to
Yeah,
know.
we are also Spotify babes.
Oh, I like
Right.
someone uses SoundCloud. That makes me feel good.
That's the end of this game, right?
Yeah, that's the end of this game.
Thanks for playing along, everyone. I do think, though, that brings us to the end of our
that's
time
the
with
end.
you.
That's our panel.
Yeah.
If you're interested in hearing more of our banter and our just silly opinions about things and enjoying fan fiction, follow us on the internet. That QR code right there will take you to our link tree. We are vaguely popular on TikTok if you want to follow us there. And then we also have Spotify, all the other stuff. It has been a pleasure. Thank you so much. We'll come hang out with you after we get off of the stage.
Enjoy the rest of FanExpo Boston.
Bye. Thanks, friends.
Bye.